What's up guys, I'm Kealey Bride. I'm a strength and conditioning coach Division II at Cameron University. I actually just got that position more recently. I'll be working with their men's basketball team there, women's basketball, spirit line, also volleyball, softball, basically every sport there. I specialize in jump training, so I do a lot of stuff with athletes working on their hip mobility, Achilles tendon training, elasticity in the lower body, stuff like that, just to improve their vertical, which also translates to any sprint training, stuff like that. Also, I created a brand, Move Different. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but I do a lot of training with the athletes through that, whether it's park workouts, in the weight room. A lot of my clientele consists of basketball athletes. I would say they take up about 90% of my clientele. The other portion being football players. I love working with football players, explosive athletes, stuff like that. Today, I'm gonna have a few athletes with me, and we're gonna be working on mostly hip mobility in the warm-up. We're gonna do some plyos, some general plyos, reactive plyos, and then a lot of reactive training in the sand, so that's gonna be real fun. All right, so first thing we're gonna do for warm-up, you guys already know, so heel walks down and then toe walks back. So for this one here, we're doing this to warm up the tendons and the ankles, getting that foot dorsiflexion and plantar flexion on the way back. Try to keep your knees straight, Omar. We're gonna go knee hugs on the way there, and then quad and reach with slight hinge on the way back. So this one, the knee hugs on the way there, I'm getting their hip flexion ready and nice and warmed up. And then on the way back, the quad stretch, so with the reach, that way the fascia, you're stretching your ipsilateral fascia that goes across your body and getting a slight hinge for your hamstrings. Okay, next we're gonna go standing split. So you're just gonna take step, slight bend in the knee, kick up as high as you can, and then step through, kick up high. And then on the way back, I want go on your toes into Frankenstein. Next, we're gonna go side shuffle, side lunge. So one shuffle out, big lunge, and then alternate sides. Our next one, we're gonna go into skips for distance. So just make sure on these you're trying to cycle your off leg through as you skip. Okay. So each step, you're skipping, going for as far as you can. Try to get here in 3. So we're gonna go skips for height, so just as many reps as you can, and then you're always going opposite arm, opposite leg. This one here, we're just gonna go back to slow it down a little bit. So I want lunge and reach back. I want the karaoke or grapevine, but make sure when you go over, your knee comes high over. Okay. Jog there, back pedal back twice. First one we're doing, this is on yourself. So this one's also super great for your hips. So band's gonna go right above your ankles here. I want you to step out as wide as you can, so outside of your hips, don't be underneath. Go outside, and then think of there's something like right here that you have to like walk around. So you're taking little baby steps and keeping that width the whole time. So we're gonna go 15 steps forward, 15 steps backwards. So you're gonna do the same thing, just stepping back, okay? Okay, so what you're gonna do, so this one's working your outside glute meads. So any lateral explosion, stuff like that. So you're gonna lay all the way down on your side, 90 degrees from your hips to your feet, flexed. When I say up, I'm gonna have my hands here. You're gonna meet my hands and I'm gonna push down for 10 seconds. So as I'm pushing, you're not trying to open up more, you're trying to keep it there. Don't let me push your leg down. Feet flexed, so bring your feet out a little bit right there. And then don't roll over onto your back, just stay fully extended there. Okay, so you're gonna hold for 10. Are you ready? Up, 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. So that's one. We're gonna go one more on this side and then to the other side. 8, 7, 6, 5, let's go, come on. 3, 2, and relax. It's a competitive drill. So I'm gonna have one person stand like in the middle of the cones right here, and then the other person's gonna stand so just kind of facing right here. So this drill's gonna be a little confusing because it's not left and right. We're gonna go green and white, okay? So that's green cone, that's white. So regardless what side you're on, you have to remember that's green cone, that's white cone. The thing is I'm having you guys do this, that way it's more of like mind-body connection, so it kind of tricks you into like actually having to think about where you're going. So if you're able to react to something that you don't necessarily understand as well, you're gonna react better in a more stable environment. So you're just gonna be facing your partner, you're meeting their eyes until I say the word. So if I say green or white, first person to get to the cone, pick it up. You're lined up just facing him. So I'm gonna just call out body parts. So wherever I say is where your hands are gonna go. So I say knees, ankles, hips, shoulders, elbows, ears, like forehead, whatever. I'll say that and then randomly I'll throw in green, white, and then you guys have to react off. Make sense? All right, this will be a warm-up round. We're gonna go 4 reps in a row, okay? Knees, hips, shoulders, ears, head, knees, green. Yeah! Hips, shoulders, head, hips, knees, shoulders, white. Nice. We're gonna go one at a time, so first person up on me when I say go. You're gonna start here, lined up with this cone. This is just a build up, so take off like kind of like a jog type run here. Once you hit that cone, you're all out 100% max sprint through the first cone. Okay, ready? Go. And take off, take off, take off. Yeah. Everyone's going 5 reps. Go. Build up and take off. Yep. Go. Full sprint, full sprint. Ready up. Go. And full sprint. Yeah. All right, so some benefits to sand training. Obviously in the sand, we have you go barefoot. Already, right when you step into the sand, you're activating a lot more muscles in the feet. When you're imbalanced, the sand pit is a natural, like imbalanced ground for your feet. So anytime you move, take a step, explode, jump, you're activating a lot more muscles in your feet and tendons in your ankles too. So a lot of my athletes, when we're doing sand training, they'll actually like hit me up the next day and say, wow, my feet and my ankles are sore. Like, how does that happen? And that just shows that a lot of people, they have a lot of instabilities and they don't use every single muscle in the foot, or their calves will be sore too. That's another big one, and that is because of using those extra tendons and being more explosive. You're having to put more force into the ground to move in the sand, so that explosiveness kind of generates from your Achilles and your calves, so that's why that'll be more sore. So a lot of athletes come to me about their hips being super tight, super stiff, super common with especially high school male or middle school boys. Once you start getting and growing a little bit more once you're older, and being an explosive athlete, you generate a lot of power in your hips anytime you're trying to jump or move or get low or get higher, lateral direction. That all kind of generates from your hip complex, which can be your anterior hip flexors, your glute medius on the lateral end, and then obviously your glute max. So a lot of athletes, they think, okay, if I static stretch for a minute every single night, then it'll be better. And that's not necessarily the thing that they need. Static stretching can be good, but I don't recommend doing it every single day. That actually causes negative outcome to an athlete's explosiveness. So the more you stretch a rubber band, think of it that way, the more you stretch a rubber band, the less elastic it's going to be. So the more you stretch your athlete in their tendons, ligaments, stuff like that, they won't be as explosive. So I tell them generally they need kind of like hip mobility training, and that kind of consists of doing actual repetitions and exercises where an athlete is put in a very uncomfortable like hip position, so maybe a lateral lunge or something like that, and getting them moving deeper into their hip complex. And a lot of athletes come to me having questions about workout volume and how much they should be working out, or telling me that since they're a basketball player, if they get bulky, they won't be able to move well. And that's not necessarily the outcome of working out and lifting and doing resistance training. So I'm not saying go into the gym and go squat 500 pounds. That's not really your goal. That's not effective to your sport, especially basketball players. When I say doing resistance training, that's how I phrase lifting. Resistance training, I recommend every athlete, especially in high school, to be lifting resistance training at least 3 times a week. 3 to 4 times is probably the best for them. When you're trying to improve vertical, doing a lot of lower body, more volume, so get the weights up, but don't be doing like a whole bunch of different reps and like overdoing it and overtraining and stuff like that. So get a like about 6 to 8 solid reps of a good weight and go for that. Alright, so that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching so much. If you guys have any questions, you can hit me up. Best communication, you can follow me on Instagram at Kealey Bride _. That's my personal one. And then at Move Different Life is my sports performance one. So